Hello, I am Best Cat 8 and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited today. I had an opportunity to spend some time with my granddaughter and I haven't seen her in a few years. I've missed her so much. She's lived in another state with her mom who is in the Air Force, and duty called, and so she had to leave. So she's staying with her mother's mom while she's on military duty. So when I was able to see her today, we went to John's Incredible Pizza. I actually took my 8-year-old son as well. They're 2 years apart, believe it or not. I guess I look young, so everyone kept thinking that my granddaughter was my daughter. And I get that a lot with my older children, the 30-year-old and the 26-year-old. Everyone's like, that's your kid. I'm like, yeah, those are my babies. My son and my granddaughter, they had an amazing time together. They ripped and ran all through John's Incredible Pizza. It was such a great day. I'm feeling really good this evening. I'm vibrating really high. It's weird because being a grandparent is so different than being a mother. My grandkids call me Oma. Oma is grandma in German. It's just really great being able to see my grandbaby. My son is like a giant, so she's really tall for 6 years old. Got her some gifts and some toys and just got a chance to love on her and spend time with her. And I want to share something with you guys. I got something because you know Halloween is right around the corner. I picked up this really cute mug. It's a Starbucks mug. I did order it on Amazon. I'll leave the link below so if you guys are interested in getting yourself one. It has a little hat. Is she cute? Little cat. My twin. I'm ready for Halloween. Oh, and it comes with a little Starbucks spoon as well. Isn't that cute? We used to own a coffee service years ago, and so I started drinking tea a long time ago. I enjoy drinking tea in the evening. Tezo passion tea, it's really good, but tonight I'm drinking honey vanilla chamomile, which is soothing and decaffeinated, which is good because it's evening time. So anyway, with all that being said, how I just went and hung out with my granddaughter and spent time with my granddaughter. The topic of this video is don't try to prove yourself to other people. If you try to prove yourself to another person, you will get caught up so quick because they will expect for you to continue to give. They will keep asking and keep wanting, and they'll always have a need, and you will never be able to live up to their expectations. It will never end. You will constantly trying to figure out how either to make them happy or to jump hoops or to satisfy them, and that's not what we were put on this earth for. That responsibility is for you to take care of yourself and make sure that you prove something to you, not to other people. I try to do as much as I can for like my family. So like my kids, for instance. I know that the politics of working can kind of get to you sometimes. And so I sent my oldest daughter 2 bouquets of flowers in vases, and it said, live, love, and laugh, just to lift her spirit, let her know that I was thinking about her, give her something beautiful to look at. The bouquets were Halloween fall colors. I thought that that was pretty cute. And she was so happy. So she left 1 bouquet at her office on her desk, and then she took another one home. I was happy to do that for my daughter. And for my grandchildren that live in Georgia with my son, I sent my grandson some toys a couple of weeks ago, and usually when I send a package to my son's house, I send gummy worms because my son has always loved gummy worms. Mind you, he's 30 years old, but whenever I send a package, I send him gummy worms. And this last time I sent a package, I did not send him gummy worms. He asked his wife where was his gummy worms, and she was like, there are no gummy worms. And he said, my mom would not send me gummy worms. I said, I'll send you some gummy worms. I sent my grandsons some Halloween cookies and some cupcakes and just a bunch of stuff that I knew that they would like that was surrounded around the Halloween theme. And of course, my son, I stuck 2 bags of gummy worms in there for him so that would make him happy. And he was on the video phone and he was shoving gummy worms in his mouth. He's like, thanks, Mom, thanks. We're all really surprised. The kids were in the background stuffing muffins and they had cupcakes, and so I was really happy that I could put smiles on their faces. Those are some of the things that I enjoy doing and I like to do for my family. It makes me feel good, it makes them feel good. But ultimately, you know, those are things I want to do and I like to do. I always think that it's not a good idea to try to prove yourself to someone. If you're going to do something, do it because it's on your heart to do and it's not an inconvenience to you and it's something that you want to do, and you're not being forced to do it, and people are asking you to do something. You're not obligated to do it just because they're wanting you to. Actually, a lot of people feel like everybody has to go out and help another person. Yeah, it's good. That's all wonderful, fine and dandy. But if it's an inconvenience to you and it's a problem for you, if say you can't afford it, you don't have the money. Say you're tired, you don't have the energy. Say you're preoccupied and you don't have the time. I don't think anybody should place obligations on other people for their lives. If they have something going on in their life, specifically the adults, that is their responsibility to maintain, manage, and handle their own personal affairs. They should never become a burden to another person, maintaining their rent, paying their bill. It's just rude, I think, to look to other people to take care of your responsibilities. I'm just a firm believer that if everybody take care of themselves, however they have to do that, things would just be so much better in the world. I think people would be less angry and resentful to others if they didn't feel the pressure to be something that they're not, or to do a bunch of things that they don't want to do or they can't do. I think some people put their burdens on others and then they get upset when the other person can't help them. And I just think that that's a really selfish, unfair mindset to have. You shouldn't have to do more than you're capable of to prove yourself to somebody. A lot of times people have their own ideas of how things should be, how life should be. And I don't think they realize that that's their ideals. It's not a set standard for everybody. It's not black and white. People are not like in a box where everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's behaving exactly the same way. We're so diverse. I think that you should be proving yourself to yourself. If you want to go back to school, if you want to get a certain job, if you want to start a business, or if you want to just level up for yourself, anything that you're doing, you should be doing it because you want to do it. You want to do it for you, not because somebody's making you do it. I don't even think you would have a really good outcome if you're doing something grudgingly. How well is that going to turn out? And not only that, how good is it going to be for the person that's trying to force you to do it? Back in my 20s, I was nice. I would try to put a smile on everyone's face. I'd try to go an extra mile and, do things here and there for different people. A lot of the times they want more, and the more you put out, the more they expect. And they'll look at you like, is that it? You're like, you want more? I had to later take a step back, like, wait a minute. And I was like Beyonce, like, remember who you are. Like, no. When I was a kid, if a little girl wanted to come play dolls with me, they were welcome to come play at my house if they wanted to. But they had to bring their own dolls. I was selfish. I did not want to share. I don't mind playing with you, but you got to have your own. That's how I came up as a child. And I think it's totally fine. My dad helped me get the very first brand new car that I got. Nobody had ever rode in. I put a license plate on the back of it and it said, I'm not spoiled. I'm not. So if that don't tell you something, that's always been my personality. And then somehow, I don't know what happened, but when I got to be about 20 years old, I was being extra nice. And one day it hit me like, wait a minute, your niceness is not being reciprocated. Pull back. And so I had to pull back. So sometimes that's just what it is, and that's what you got to do. Think back to who you were when you were a kid. You probably had a little selfishness to you too, where you're more worried about what's going on in your life. You're more worried about yourself and building yourself up than taking care of the next person and trying to maintain somebody else's business that don't have nothing to do with you. If you haven't had that kind of attitude, then it's not too late to start. You can start now. I think sometimes we're so worried about what other people think that we're not focused enough on what we think and our own expectations for ourselves. If you find yourself as a people pleaser because you're trying to make another person happy, you might want to check that. You will get caught up in a loop where that's all you're doing. And That's not good. That's not good at all. And stop letting people tell you who you are. People will expect you to be perfect, and they're not. Perfect people don't exist, but flawed people do. People that take the time to do a self-analysis and they go into their own hearts and minds, they usually come out stronger. If you're gonna do something, do it for you, because you want to be your best self. So a lot of times when you're trying to prove something to somebody, they actually have the power. They have your power, and you have to take your power back. And the world will right itself again. And hopefully in the end, you will have learned some lessons about life and about yourself. The other thing is, people are out for self. They are worried about self-preservation, and they will do a lot of things to make sure that they're taken care of, that they're looked after, and that includes using other people, their time, their energy, their money. And most of the time, people that want you to prove yourself to them, they're trying to get you to prove your worth. Usually it's more materialistic things that is outside of yourself. And it's not just you, who you are as a person, which is where your true intrinsic value lies. You have to know that you being you is enough. And society will have you thinking that you're supposed to do things a certain way. No, you don't. You have choices and you have options because it's your life. There is no blueprint. There's so many levels to finances, to careers, to college degrees, and to life in general. No matter where you land, there's always going to be somebody above you or below you. Your life is about you. It's not about another person. In the end, you're going to have to deal with the results of whatever it is that you do, whether it's something that you wanted to do or didn't want to do. A lot of people, they don't even know what they're doing in life. They don't even have a specific plan for a roadmap for how to get from A to B, A to Z. So when people start telling you how you should do something and how you should go about living your life and who you should be and what you should be, then just stop and think. Do you want their life? And if you don't, that's not somebody you should be listening to. People that love you and care for you, you will not have to prove yourself to them. I wholeheartedly believe when you're true to yourself and you know who you are as a person, you won't let people tell you who you are. You won't do things that are not for your benefit. You won't do things that will take you off of your life path. Only you have the power to determine what your true value is. People will have you working jobs you don't want to work and doing all kind of stuff that you don't want to do because you're trying to prove something to them. Don't even bother. It's not worth it. Don't do it. And if you're not there yet, then just keep going. You'll get there. Let me show you guys something. I got this really cute hourglass on Amazon. I set it right here on my desk, and it's just for inspiration. And I'll show you the sign that I have sitting next to it. It says, 1 grain at a time. Basically, whatever it is that you're trying to work on or build for yourself or change, you want to do something different, then 1 grain at a time. 1 grain at a time. Anytime my kids had to do something, a job to do, had something that they had to accomplish, or anytime I've had something that I had to accomplish. 1 thing at a time. If you got to read a book, you're going to read that book 1 word at a time, 1 sentence at a time, 1 paragraph at a time, 1 page at a time. Mom used to say, you don't have to eat the whole elephant. Nibble on his pinky toe. And before you know it, you're gonna be there. So if there's something that you want to do for yourself, then just take 1 day at a time, 1 step at a time, and you'll get there. But whatever it is, make sure you're doing it for you and not for somebody else, because you could do some things and you can make some accomplishments trying to prove something to somebody else. But in the end, are you gonna be happy? Is that something that you want? Is that something that's going to make you feel fulfilled and content? You'll be more happy and satisfied if you focus on the things that you want and go after those things, opposed to trying to do something to prove something to somebody else. In the end, it doesn't do anything for you because you did it for somebody else. You did it for the wrong reasons. So we're gonna end this video here. I hope you guys remember, it is what you say it is. Until next time, bye.